Okay, welcome to the stream. Um, so today we have a few tasks. We need to get rid of this. We, I mean, rid of it. We need to basically turn it 90 degrees because we need other holes here than it's offering us now. We need to make the something to to combine to bridge the gap here. So basically, these two A-pillar mounts are gonna be, well, one. Um, and I think, sorry, we should probably make sure that this A-pillar, so this here and this here, is kind of, I don't know, um, connected, if you will. So this we need to do because the axis that's gonna provide the shifting. So that's gonna operate the shift mechanism in the front and rear is gonna go here. And right now, the frame that we have does not offer that hole. So we need to turn this guy 90 degrees or something and see what we can do here. Yeah, because see, I would prefer to basically not use these L-shaped arms, but I don't really have a choice here because the normal 3x5 L lift arms have a problem with this guy here. They don't reach enough. I mean, this guy here is in the way. I cannot attach anything if this is there. That's the problem. But we need them because they neatly combine everything together. So what do we do? Well, obviously, first we remove this frame. This frame has to change. Mm. Come on. What's holding it in? Oh. Obviously, those would go with the frame. So this guy here is going to be turned 90 degrees. So it can only be like this. And at this point, I mean, see, we can put it in here. And these two are gonna nicely connect to those points here, like this. However, that means that we have no way of somehow addressing this. So what if we put in this? Is this any better? I mean, can we do anything with this? Is it helping us? I don't know. Because ideally, I want to, have a connection to, I don't know, something here in the front. either on the side, which we cannot do, or on top, which we, I don't know, maybe can do. Mr. Cat, by the way, in the background is having a field day again. So basically, we want this axle to be here. This is the position of our shifter axle, if you want. So it's gonna rotate, of course, and you know we're gonna do some gear magic here to make it work. But for now, the axle is gonna be here, and if we have the frame here, see, it's no problem. Frame clears, everything's fine. But of course, we need to do something about this. And I don't want to do things asymmetrically. So only on one side, which gives us problems. What if we use the second set of holes on this frame and do something like this? Yeah, the diff frame clears this, and now we have those two holes here with which we can, you know, attach things over there, I guess. And here in the back we can, well, do something to combine all of this. I don't think there's going to be a better way to do this. Not really. Mm. We can get rid of this. Holy shit. Okay, we can get rid of this. And we don't lose anything, but we have to do some rebuilding. Okay. Basically, come on. This side is gonna go away. So we're gonna, come on. Damn you. So we're gonna cancel this. And while I'm at it, of course, I'm gonna insert the frame, which I cannot insert at a later stage because once I do this and this, the frame is in. It's not gonna go anywhere. Okay. Yeah. And we need to change this too, of course. There. Oh god, okay, that's it. Right, so now we can put L lift arms here. But before we do that, we are going to secure this side of uh, those. With a portion like this. And let's see. Did I speak too soon? Did I speak too soon? No, it's kind of fine. This is okay. I did place them one step lower, and because I did this, I can also do this. Yeah. Well, since I did this, I basically didn't have to do this here. This could have stayed as it was, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. So now the problem is I don't know how to incorporate this into this and this, so that this would be, strong, I guess. These have to be, yeah, here, like that. That's not very good. Basically, this guy doesn't need to be here. Because, this is gonna be enough to, prevent this from going left and right. If it's even needed. No, it's not even needed. And this is gonna be taken care of. Yeah. Once we do this connection, and we can do it by placing this here. And come on. By using these. I'm improvising a lot here now. This is okay. This is gonna be interesting. Okay. This is one stud. Come on. Whatever. This is one stud shorter than this would be. So one stud shorter. So this is good. It roots less into the cabin. There he is. Okay. But we need to see about this here. I totally forgot where this was. Okay, yeah, here. Here. So we need a 3 stud here. And we need a connection here. Okay. When we have this, what do we do here? We need to make ourselves a special something here to connect to this. I guess we could use this combination, basically. Something like this. Here we use this, of course. And here, come on, go in. Ah, classic problem. Okay. There. And same thing on the other side. Go. Now, of course, I have another problem. So, we did this. Wait, is this right? Yeah, this is right. Okay. And now we don't have a mounting point here. Bummer. See? This guy here cannot be mounted. Whoopsie daisy. what do we do here? So ideally, we would have this guy here. But we can't, like that, because if we do this, then this guy here does not have a 2-pin connection. Hey, Esho, which is a no-go. What we could do is go from this guy here, but then this would flop around. Well, this sucks. What do we do here? Meanwhile, I found a solution for this problem here, I think. But what do we do here? We probably need to use a different mounting method for this. So the A-pillar mount is, well, I mean, this was weak anyway, so, you know, we need something better. And we don't have a lot of room. We don't have a lot of room here. It's basically the door, which I'm probably gonna take off, because at the moment it's just in the way. So we have this part, so this is no go because the door is mounted here. Then we have, of course, this here, which we could use, you know, to mount this. But how? We could mount it here. Then we don't need to worry about the other side. We could use this guy here. We could use this guy here. Peel P50. What is a Peel P50? I have no idea what this is. So basically, my idea here is I would like to have make a bracket of sorts that goes from here to here. Right. I don't like three wheels. Three-wheeled cars. Those are not cars. So I'm not a friend of that. Or we could go from here. We could go from there. It would be lower. We could do something like this. So basically we would have a transverse beam that would somehow connect to this. But yeah, I realize that's not okay, because that's too low. You want it as high as possible. If we managed to make this guy disappear or do something different with the A-pillar mounts. We can do this. Yes, sir. We can do this. I mean, if this was one stud longer, that would be great. But it isn't. So we are going to make something else. Yeah. In the end, this is gonna be better than intended. Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be good. That's gonna be very good. And then we're gonna go from there. All right. So sadly, we need to get rid of our A-pillar mounts, but that's not bad. That's not bad at all, because what we're gonna replace them with is gonna be better. Much better. For this, of course, in standard tradition, we have to dismantle most of what we have here. We replace this here. We don't need this here, not in this capacity, but I will turn this around. And we're gonna place this guy here. And now we're gonna do this here. There. Which transfer axle? You mean for the shifting? No, the shifting axle has absolutely no room in the chassis. No, none whatsoever. It has to be here. That's its place. That's the only possible way for it to be there. And the A-pillar suddenly is very solid, which is very good. All of this is also pretty good. Of course, this is gonna be solved, I guess, with the A-pillar, or should be. And I think we're gonna have some sort of reinforcements in the chassis inside. Okay. The good part is, before we didn't have this part here located. Now, since we have the B and C pillars done, we do. And making the mounts here is now going to be, I guess, easier. But this is definitely gonna be a lot of much improvement, of course. And here, of course, now that we have this hole here, or these two pins or whatever, we can make a brace, a central brace, I guess. Something like this, I guess, through the car to connect the front and rear subframes, and that's gonna be pretty good. So the A pillar, which is axles basically, uh, doesn't have to carry everything. It's gonna carry something, absolutely, but not everything. But yeah, now we can make attempt number 3 or 4 in trying to create a mount for the A pillar. Hmm? Very interesting. Very interesting. So basically, these are located because you see they are parallel with the door, I guess. No, something's not right. Why is this? Why am I confused here? This is all. Why do I have a feeling that something's broken? This is all level. All of this is making contact with the ground. So all of these points, just as we did the last time, we made the spacers, yet somehow this part here seems to be hanging to the back. Should be like this. Is it the wait? Is it the mount for the B pillars? Is this wrong? I'm confused. I'm very confused. Huh. I see the problem. Okay. See the problem. So the main problem is that this is too far back. And this guy here is basically, this is bending. That's the main reason. That's the main reason why this is problematic. So we cannot trust this. And we have to make ourselves something else. So this will hopefully provide the whole section here with a level. Let's see. Weird. Okay, obviously, no, it, it should be okay. Um, Jules, basically go to the Discord. All the pictures are there. Everything you want is in the Discord. So we want this basically. No, we want this, and it's hanging to the back. Why is it hanging to the back? I mean, obviously, yeah, I guess I have to support this too, because it's part of the structure and it's skewing the results. I mean, if you want to sometimes you really have to be precise there. Okay, now this should not bend it backwards anymore. Yet it still does. Yet it still does. But by very little. I mean, oh. This is frustrating. Is mildly said, very mildly. Um, of course, I get it. Things here bend because they're not um, perfectly aligned. Um, and there never will be perfectly aligned. Okay. So now what? Well, now we have the same problem as in the front. But here we can actually solve it. Yeah. So again, I'm gonna do a jig, if you want, if you will, of sorts, to help me understand the problem with the frames. Because when we do this, I want things to be, well, reasonably precise. Yes, Lego bends and stuff, but still. Okay. So I made, I made a jig to help us keep everything as straight as possible. And I also have to, combine these two, otherwise it's never gonna be okay. Yeah, I'm gonna remove this for the time being. We don't need this at the moment. It's more of a hindrance than a help. So this is, of course, not how it's gonna be. This is just us making sure that we understand what's happening. So now everything here is level. It's supported. It's supported on the ground. It's supported in the car. So we don't have any bending. We shouldn't have any bending issues that are related to the chassis itself, as long as, of course, everything is on the ground. And obviously, this is still happening. So the C-pillar mounts are garbage. They need to be revised. We need to do the A-pillar mounts first, and the C-pillar mounts need to be slightly relocated because they're obviously pulling the entire thing back, which we don't want. What I do want is this guy here to be as precisely parallel to this as possible, so I can properly judge where this here needs to be. And as it looks, of course, we have to do the same as we did last time. We have to make ourselves a support here as well. Otherwise, this is never gonna happen. The good part in comparison to last time is that now we have a lot more stuff around us. A lot more stuff is built here. To be a 4. No, wait, what? I'm totally confused. Yeah, this is okay. This was okay because this is, of course, the angle of the A pillar, not this of the B pillar. That's my confusion. All right. So now we can locate this properly. Check. Something is not okay. Do we have the right amount? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Of course not. It has to be a niner. So basically, what we are chasing is this part here has to be the same as this here, in order for the roof to be perfectly level. But I guess that's not gonna happen. Find another method. Let's see. What does this tell us? It's not like this, but it should be. Okay, first I'm using this here to block the roof going back, so that now, see, now we have the door parallel to this. Only thing we need to do now is see about this, but I think now that this is blocking it, it's gonna be fine, because we can now basically push it a little bit to the back, and it's gonna be fine because it has nowhere to go. This guy is here, and at the same time we can check what this is doing. So this obviously needs revision. This is not okay. But first the A-pillar. But you see, what we are doing now is only possible to do once you are at this stage. So only now that we have some structure and we have like some versions of the A, B, and C pillars, now we can go back, make a jig, and revise everything. It's sometimes, sometimes it's like this. I mean, in this year it was pretty much the same. Okay, so now the A pillar looks different. Of course, now the mounts look to be, well, no, they are half a stud higher than this, of course. Yeah. So we weren't that much mistaken. Question is, okay, yeah, that's not gonna happen. That's not right. But to be honest, we can do this. We can do this. Just gonna try something. It's probably dumb. It's not gonna work. But better safe than sorry. Okay, it doesn't work. It's basically it pulls the roof down here, making it not parallel with anything here. So does need to be like half a stud, or not even half a stud. Man, the difference is so small. At this point, I'm gonna put something to block the door from going inside there, just so that it doesn't skew the results. I mean, you see, the good part here is that while this here is pulling the roof a little bit to the front, and this is pulling the roof a little bit to the back, they balance out. They do balance out. I'll be damned. They do balance out. Who would have thought? And I think the car is gonna be stronger because of that. It's not strong yet. I see a lot of movement here that we're gonna address. We have to address it, but that's fine. That's fine. That we can address it. It's no issue. So basically, this is a success. Only that we need to tweak this a little bit. So that this guy is going to be a little further to the front. Yeah, okay. can go. So so this guy here is connecting here, and now we need this. We're gonna do it like this. This and this. You'll see why in just a second. Wait, what did I just do? I'm so stupid. This, yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Just problems. So we need to do it with this guy here. And that's not okay. That's not okay. So this is not okay. And we need to do something with this. This is also going to be suboptimal. Because we're going to have to do this. Which is better, but not good. And all of this we have to do Because this brick here. So, and this guy here is gonna come in contact with this here. It's gonna provide kind of further, you know, reinforcement to this, I guess. Yeah, let's do this side too. So the other side. See, this here is gonna be, I guess, connected to this and gonna be a reinforcement. But I don't know. So, I mean, this is a lot sturdier than it was before. A lot sturdier. Of course, now you see we still have movement here. See how this moves. This still needs addressing. And I guess when we connect this, this is gonna be fine. But we'll see. We'll see once we connect it. Yep. That solved it. That solved it. So this is now proper. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, the whole car, right now that we have all of this together, feels rock solid. And keep in mind, it's the structure of the car is not done yet. I mean, the fenders themselves are gonna provide structure as well, front and rear. We don't have the front ready. We don't even have this side of the A, B, and C pillars ready. Yet, this is still this is already extremely stiff. So, and I mean, this is really stiff. I don't see and feel any movement in the body when I lift it. Like either like this or like this. Car is solid, like really solid. Hey Marco, so that's excellent. That's excellent. All the angles here around the door are the way they should be. And that's a win, I guess. Of course, it's not, the car is not perfectly level. You see, there's a slight gap here in the rear, very slight. But you know, we knew this because the roof is under tension. If I release this here, if I release this here, now this is solid. But since we put this a little bit under tension, this is now lifting up. The fender that's gonna be here, it's gonna put some more tension into this, and it's gonna probably bend this back into shape, because this is now lifting up, because there's nothing here preventing it from doing it. Now the fender is gonna be pretty solid, and it's probably gonna, you know, bend it a little bit down. So all in all, it's gonna be fine. So what's next? Good question. What should we tackle next? Well, probably we should engineer before we start doing the gearbox and stuff. We should engineer, you know, the connection here. So see, this in the front and in the rear, this is still a problem. So this should not happen. Ideally, we would connect this on the side, but I think that's kinda not gonna happen. Luckily, we lost the structure here. It's no longer necessary, and the only issue that I see here is probably the gear here. The gear here, because you know, the temptation here is to put a lift arm here. Yeah, the Ben is right. The bumpers also need to be basically explored. So where they are, yeah, that's true. So see, this has clearance when this is on. It has clearance, but I'm kind of afraid what happens when, you know, when we compress the suspension. What happens with the gear here in the drivetrain? Does it make contact or not? It does not make contact. The gear does not make contact with this. Excellent. Solved. So we can have a lift arm here. That's gonna solve the problems here. Probably we're gonna place probably this guy here, which was here kind of from the start. If you remember, the first prototype had the T-bone in there. And I think I'm gonna, I'm gonna leave this side open because we are probably gonna connect something to this. We're probably gonna connect something to this, uh, and yeah. But good that this is solved. Okay, the T-bones can be here. Um, on both sides, there's like a goat's hair with uh, so clearance, but you know there's clearance. That's good enough for me. Yeah, and this is gonna be perfect. Not in the rear. In the rear, there's no room for this yet. Uh, but the rear, we know that the springs need some relocating, which we are gonna do later. But now, as Ben said, I want to see basically where the front bumper is. Uh, exactly. Like I want to know where the grill is, because right behind the grill is gonna be the electric motor, and we need to see where this exactly is gonna be. Um, Now let me see the pictures. Um, so we have basically the same fender as in the rear, and then from the front of the fender we have. Let me see if I have that part. Yeah. I have it in red. So I have it in red, you know, as good a color as any. So it's gonna be somewhere here. Let's create the fender. Of course, just as in the rear, the fender is just how should we put it? It's a placeholder of sorts. Since the plate here is not gonna be present in the final product, because the wheel arch is gonna hold all of this together, and this is gonna be different as well. But right now we need placeholders. Um, mhm. Ish. That's not precise at all. It should be inside, yeah. Something like that. just so we get a feel for the size of the car. So from here on, if I see this correctly, let me just take a look at some other pictures. See how much exactly is this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So basically, it's 4 studs from here. 4 studs from here is the room that we have. So it's here. That's quite a lot of room, if I'm reading this correctly. So if I'm reading this correctly, and I may not, of course, this is the room that we have. One, two, three, 4. Yeah. So these are placeholders, of course, just to get the feel of the room. So the vertical here is already the grill. Okay, that's already the beginning of the grill. So we have room until here. So the Buick motor is gonna. This is the furthest out that it can go, and this is the space everything can occupy. So the gearbox, the motor, all of it. Obviously, the Buick motor is the bulb of the motor is going to be here on the side, either here on this or on the other side, and then the gearbox is going to be between the motor itself and this. Not a lot of room. Not, or I don't know. I forgot how big those motors actually are. I think they are 3 studs thick, but I could be mistaken. Maybe they are 2 studs. Maybe they are 2 studs thick. And then we have more room that, I mean, not more than needed, but more room that I expect, or And in the rear, the situation is exactly the same, of course. So I'm gonna put exactly the same lift arms on the exactly same frame in the rear, just so that we have a sense of scale. But in the front, of course, the car continues a little bit further past the grille, and in the rear, keep in mind that this part of the car gets extended a little bit. It's a revised design. So this basically is already the rear, the end of the car. This is the end of the car. The car does not go any further than this, other than spoiler, but that's the end of the body. And this part here, of course, is going to be extended by, I think, 2 studs. Two lift arms are additional lift arms are going to be installed here. Okay. then then we have actually a reasonable amount of room, so to speak. Come on. Um, so if we pretend for a brief moment that this is the motor, just so that we can get a feel for what's happening here. Um, so this is gonna be the motor here, and this is the room that we have for the gearbox, basically. If we can save a stud, the better. I mean, each stud that we save, that the motor can be closer to the car, it's good. But essentially, that's the situation. It's gonna be lower, of course, but since the slope is here, that's not gonna be there in the final product. You know, that's what happens. In the final version, we could. No, we probably couldn't because of the it's too wide. But yeah, we're gonna do something here. I don't know. Maybe just lift arms, and then the vertical somehow. I don't know. But yeah, that's the room that we have. Oops. Um, and still, I think it's gonna be a great car. How can I save a stud and a half if the mounting point is in the middle of the studs? The mounting point is irrelevant. The gearbox, the size of the gearbox is relevant. The smaller the gearbox, the closer the motor can be to the car. The more room we have in the front for the grill and stuff. Um, of course there is, Ben. Of course there is. There will be a fake inline 5. But the fake inline 5 is the last thing that we'll do. Fake inline 5 can be 2 studs thick, or even 1 stud thick. It can be literally anything that has 5 somethings moving and is here on top of the motor. It can be on the side of the gearbox or wherever. We're gonna make it, but all of the technical stuff is first. I'm happy that we finally did a good version of the roof and pillars. That's really good. And now we have the central axis, this for the gearbox, which is also good. There's room for it. The A pillar is now really solid, which shows in the rest of the car. Even though we don't have this side done, it's still solid. And I'm really happy. And I'm really happy about this, that we did this. This also made the car a lot more solid. Um, the wheel arches are gonna add, of course, to the rigidity because they are part of the structure. Um, yeah, very very good. And still we have a giant hole in the car. So 6.5 studs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. That's plenty of room. Then we have a stud and a half from the back of the motor to the grill. But that's great. That's plenty of space. Then we can make the rear even smaller. Perfectly fine with me. Uh, so yeah, that's it for today. Um, During this week, I'm going to make the purchase for the parts for the Sierra, and for this, I'm going to order the Buick motors. I hope, if I beg them, that they send them to me as soon as possible so that we can have them here. Um, the controller probably next month, because it's expensive, uh, but that's the goal. So I'm gonna order the wheel arches, some white parts, of course, because Sierra and this share parts. Um, the wheels, of course, I need to order the wheels because those here are for the Sierra. I need to order a second set of wheels with the correct tires of the Ferrari, and of course the white dishes for the rims, for the hubcaps. Sorry, um, as the first round of parts that we need, and then we're gonna continue. There's gonna be more bricklink orders until the car is finished, but we need to we need the wheel archers absolutely because of the structure. We need the motors obviously because we need to do the gearbox. Um, we need to do the central support. I'm probably gonna order. I think it's an L motor uh, from the power functions. No, power functions for the from the control plus for the servo, because we need to place the servo somewhere, and the gear change motor, so that in the end I just buy the viewers controller, put it in, and we're good to go. Um, yeah, so that's the rough plan. Um, okay. I was wondering why is this going so rough? Because basically because it's the suspension is fully extended. It needs to be a little more compressed. And of course, I need to order different springs because these are way too soft. Um, like way too soft. Um, I think it has to be an L motor. I need to check with DNA with Zero Bricks. He knows exactly which stuff is best for the gear change. As small as possible, of course, but still, yeah, we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I see you on Friday.